Hi, good day all. Understanding the movement of consciousness as thought, desire, and suffering. Krishnamurti explores how we see things, how we think, and why we suffer. His ideas go deep into the mind and life itself. Let us break it down step by step. Our senses, like our eyes, ears, and skin, help us experience the world around us. When we see, hear, or touch something, we feel a sensation. For example, when we see a beautiful sunset, light reaches our eyes and we feel a sense of wonder. We first experience things as they are, but as soon as we label them as good or bad, our thoughts take over and interfere. When we touch, see, hear, or feel something, our body and brain react automatically. We feel hot or cold, pleasure or pain because our nervous system responds to what we come in contact with. The sensation itself is neutral, but when our mind starts thinking about it, it becomes personal. If we simply observe a sensation without labeling it as good or bad, there is no emotional reaction or suffering. The problem starts when our thoughts create a story around the sensation, leading to attachment. Where does thought come from? Thought comes from memories and past experiences stored in the brain. Since our brain is shaped by the past, every thought is based on what we already know. Thought works like a machine, it reacts to, sustains by interpreting, comparing, and predicting based on past knowledge. Thought is never truly free because it is always influenced by past experiences. The moment thought steps in, it changes how we see things, making perception unclear. Why does thought come when sensation arises? When we feel something, thought immediately steps in to recognize and compare it with past experiences. The brain naturally tries to label things as good or bad to help us decide what to seek or avoid in the future. Thought wants to keep pleasurable experiences and escape painful ones. This is how attachment starts. If thought did not interfere, we would simply experience sensations without emotional suffering. Where does the image come from and why? The images in our mind come from memory, which is made up of all our past experiences. Our thoughts store these experiences as picture, emotions, or ideas so we can use them later. Why does this happen? The brain wants stability and safety, so it creates mental images to hold on to good experiences and avoid painful ones. What is the image? An image is something created by the mind. It is not the actual reality. It can take different forms. Words, thought like I am successful or I am a failure, it is the form of words. Pictures, a mental image of a loved one or a dream goal, it is a form of picture. Emotions, feelings of past happiness or fear. These mental images shape how we see the world, but they are based on past experiences, not what is actually happening right now. Is the image in the form of words or form or consciousness? The image can exist in three ways. Words, thoughts like I am good or I am bad. It is in the form of words. Form, a mental picture stored in memory. Consciousness, the background storage of all our past experiences is consciousness. Our consciousness is like a storage room filled with images, and the thought picks and chooses from these stored images to create our perception of the present. What is attachment? Attachment happens when the mind holds on to an image, person, or experience. It creates a sense of dependency because we fear losing what gives us comfort, security, or happiness. Attachment leads to fear of loss, fear of change, and fear of the unknown. What attaches? The ego, our sense of self, is what clings to things. This I wants security in relationships, beliefs, and material things. The I is just a creation of thought and it attaches to things that make it feel real and important. What is desire? Desire happens when thought remembers a past pleasure and wants to experience it again. It is the movement of thought based on past sensations. You see something beautiful. When you see something beautiful, then thought recalls past pleasure. Then desire born. Then desire is born. Desire is always about changing something in the future, never staying with what is. Is desire the movement of consciousness? Yes, desire is a movement within consciousness. Consciousness is filled with memories, images, and thoughts. Desire appears when consciousness remembers past pleasure and tries to recreate it. If you simply observe desire without running after it, its intensity fades. Is suffering the movement of consciousness? Yes, suffering is also a movement within consciousness. Suffering happens when consciousness resists the present reality and holds on to what is lost. Suffering ends when you realize that the self is just a product of thought. If you don't identify with the suffering, it fades away on its own. We conclude now, breaking the cycle. If you simply watch the whole process without trying to control it, the movement of thought slows down and stops. Pure perception is free. It has no attachment, no identification, and no suffering. The key is to observe without reacting. This means that true freedom doesn't come from trying to control or get rid of desire. Instead, it comes from deeply observing and understanding how desire arises, moves, and influences us. When we see it clearly, without resistance or attachment, it loses its hold over us naturally. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Namaste. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. If this video added value, like and share it with friends. It makes a big difference. Thank you.